That works perfect. All right, everybody. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star with Ron Russell, the incredibly talented G. Tom Mack. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hey, Jimmy. Hey there, Ron. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Normally I would introduce him, but since we introduced him just then, we'll just say, how about say hi to the man behind the boards, Mr. Chad Murphy.
Welcome back, Mr. Mack. It's been a couple years. Good to see you.
Hey,
I
mate.
remembered. I wasn't on the show when you
No,
were on.
no, so it's like
He
5
had
years.
some boring people, I understand. The show was a horror. The show was
What
like
a
number
jerk.
9,000, on the charts. Now we're number one, the best kind of
web
show.
show.
He likes
Best
to
web
boast,
show in
G.
the world. Did you know that? Right now, there are over 4.5 million people.
No,
that
not
are-
right now, but throughout
throughout the week.
syndication.
4.5 million people are going to look at you. So you can curse if you want. It's okay. I
Lovely.
don't curse anymore. I cleaned up my gutter mouth because,
No, he didn't.
Yes, I did. Everybody's going to be amazed. This whole 2 hours, I won't say one F word.
Yes, you will.
Or one
Anyway,
C
hold on.
word.
We have a chat room full of people, G, so say hello to everybody in the chat room.
Hey, everybody in the chat room. Rocking out? You doing
There you
good?
go. All
Good.
right. So anybody who doesn't know, like I've known G. Tom Mack for a really long time, and he does all kinds of really cool things, but he's most well known for being an incredible songwriter and singer. And anybody knows that The Lost Boys is my favorite movie almost of all time. And if you guys know that song, Cry Little Sister, which basically is the Lost Boys song, that's G. Tom Mack who wrote it and sings it. And it's like one of the most iconic film songs in history. So hello, and I'm happy to see you.
Happy to see you, too. Thanks for the wonderful intro there.
Absolutely. And
It
we're-
was an honest intro. We don't do bullshit intros here. If you are nobody and you stink, we say this creepy nobody stinks, but we had him on because he knows somebody, like a relative.
We'll see how this interview goes.
It's going to go really well. You got to love it. And I actually, you guys, I met G. Tom Mack at a conference. You know how everybody goes to those conventions many, many, many years ago. And I was friends with Corey Haim and Brooke McCarter. Rest in peace, both of them, that they've both passed. But both of them introduced me to G. Always was a big fan of his music. He's continuing in the Lost Boys vein. And in a little while, we're going to talk about a new musical he's putting together about the Lost Boys. He sent us some clips of some songs. We're going to play some of that. But before we go into that, I thought we would just
By the way, first
pitch
time,
up a little. Say that again?
first time ever people will be hearing clips from the musical.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be really cool.
Did you get funded yet?
Oh, yeah. I don't do things without being funded, mate.
Well, everybody that comes on our show, everyone that comes on our show is always looking for funding. I'm waiting for, Frank Sinatra to come up from the grave and ask for funding.
People do. There's many good projects out there that should be funded.
I know that, but they fund the garbage.
Yeah, well,
Unfortunately.
some stuff's good, but they do fund a lot of garbage. I agree with that.
Now, tell me a little bit about your musical and why should I go see it? For free. You got to comp me. I never pay.
I think it's very much a musical that from a very amazing film and called Lost Boys. My story is basically the backstory, and it's a prequel to every. You get to know all the. In the movie, you didn't really know where it came from, how it all got there, and nor should you. It was just a really great film put together in a way where you sort of got youth angst by a vampire. In my story, you get the story of David, when he starts off in Lithuania as a 5-year-old orphan in an orphanage, and you get the backstory to how he gets to America by being adopted by parents from Nova Scotia. And this is in 1970, and you get to see how he grows up in Nova Scotia and gets out on the road and meets the other vampires across the country and end up in California.
So first of all, too, let me tell everybody.
Hold on. Here's my chance. If ever you want me to play a gay vampire, I'm great. I look like Dracula easily. I just don't sleep for 2 nights and drink a lot of vodka, and Dracula, there he is.
The musical world is full of variety. You never know.
That's right. So one thing too, which I know Lost Boys fans know this, but I don't know if everybody else knows it, that this is the 30th anniversary of the Lost Boys, and of the film The Lost Boys. You guys, it's like such an iconic film. So let's go back. So your musical version is going to be called The Lost Boys Story, and you've done a soundtrack, and the soundtrack's coming out. I believe they told me it's coming out in September.
Yeah, late September. Yeah, early October. We're still. I'm. I don't sleep anymore, so I'm quite not the vampire.
That's
But
okay. Sleep all. What's the
but
song? Sleep all day, party all night.
yeah, all the talented people I
don't
know,
get the party all night. That's the only part that's missing.
Is the party part.
all the genius people I know don't sleep. It's the dummies that sleep. Because they have nothing in their head, so they can fall asleep. But when you're creative and talented, your head's just going a mile a minute. You can't sleep. Listen, do you think you're going to go to Broadway in New York City?
We're all, I've got some great producers in New York, and all of this stuff is going that way. And we're, it's not like just going to do a high school play at this point. We're actually making really good headway. Some really good people involved that are of the theater world that are just embracing what I've written. And yeah, we're.
In your mind, have you any idea who you'd cast?
The idea was to release this soundtrack because everybody just thought the music was pretty stellar and fantastic, which was great to hear because I don't know after a while. I wrote 45 songs to get 11 songs to make Act 1 and Act 2 really tie in and work together. But yeah, it's been well received to the powers that be, and got a great.
Have you cast this? Ron had asked. Have you already have an idea of who will play this once it goes out?
Yeah, we're going into that phase very shortly, and we already have people in mind. Yeah.
Do you have a female character about 35 years old? No, not me. Don't get stupid.
No, I know.
No, Michelle Dockery.
Dockery
From Abington is probably
Downtown Abbey.
Downtown Abbey is probably the greatest actress of our time. She can sing like a bird. She's gorgeous and she's very popular and hot right now. And she would do your musical a big, big push. I love her.
He's in love with Michelle.
I'm gay and I'm in love with her. I watch everything she does. I said she's a young Betty Davis. Right now she's in a series in America where she has an American accent playing a whore, a junkie, a murderer, and a thief, which is a far stretch from her, Mary in Downton Abbey.
Actually, hang on, hold on. You're from the UK. Like, did you watch Downton Abbey?
I watched some of it, yeah. I mean, when I could, by the time I watch anything, it's like late at night, and then of course I fall asleep watching it.
Her portrayal of Mary was absolutely the best performance I've ever seen for an actress in that era, that costume, and holding her own against a stellar cast of Maggie Smith and everybody else. So consider her.
Listen, you can't write something and not have people in mind. For the part of Star, there's been a few wonderful actresses that we're looking at, and just the part of Max is quite an extraordinary build.
Well, Michelle is good. If you book Michelle, you're going to have a good draw because thousands of fans. She's got such a fan base now.
Yeah, well, I'll check her out. Absolutely.
And you know what? Now you owe me. So if you do hire her, you have to come to dinner with Michelle and I and Jimmy.
He wants to get her. We have some people from Downton Abbey coming on in 2 weeks, and he's going to be hitting them up because he wants Michelle Dockery.
I want Michelle on our show.
That's his
so
like
bad.
Angelina Jolie now or something. But anyway, let's go back. All right.
I love her.
So you
She's
have a
wonderful.
soundtrack coming out, and nobody's heard any of these clips. And I've got 4 short clips, so I thought we would play them a little bit as we're going along and talk a little bit in between them. I actually love the Sleep All Day and Long Hot Summer. I listened to them 20 times today because they were really, really great. I love them to death. But I think since they're short, we're going to play them. Chad, do you have Once Upon?
Yes, I do.
All right, so you introduce it for us, G. We're going to play it, and then...
Wait, one question. You have a song called Long Hot Summer?
Yeah.
There is another song with Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward from the movie Long Hot Summer.
Sure
and
did.
It was sung...
It seemed to work for this particular play.
I mean, are you allowed to use the same title?
Oh, yeah,
I think it's
can.
over 50 years anyway.
No, you can use the same title anyway.
That was a 1958 or 59 movie.
All right, let's go back because you're going to get to that one when you get to hear that one. But
I
we're going
want to
do
hear
Once
all his music. I'm fascinated by him already. It's like he's a great guy.
We're going to do Once Upon. So you introduce it for us, G. Tell us a little bit about it. And then, Chad, you got it ready?
Hi, Captain.
All right.
We're going to listen to your music now.
Actually, Once Upon opens up Act One, where we find David.
I don't think you're on the air.
Yes, he is.
He is on the air?
Shh, be quiet. Let him finish.
No, but I don't know if he's on the air.
Yes, he's on the air.
Chad's playing the music.
No, he's got to
Not
introduce
playing
it. So
anything,
Chad
right?
can play
Oh,
it. Come
sorry.
on.
Sorry about that.
Anyway, basically, it opens up Act One, and it tells the story of David in the at the age of 5, gets adopted, and it basically we see an interview in the beginning with Max, who runs the orphanage, and a couple that are adopting David to bring him to America from Lithuania. So.
All right, so this is it, you guys. Once Upon from the soundtrack for A Lost Boys Story, coming out sometime later this year in the fall.
Here you go.
Is he a vampire yet?
Once upon a land, thou shalt find my calling.
Once I was an orphan in my bleak and soulless place. 5 years into my life, who would come and save this face? Lost within these children, I grow sad before my time. My only recollection of being loved was in my mind. Once upon infusion lights went out and I was safe to know the lesser evil ran no longer through my veins. 5 years into my life, I stood there to be chosen, a mother and a father. Why no joy in my emotions?
Once upon a land, thou shalt find my calling. Say you're glad to meet me. Say how much I'll be just fine. Say how long you've waited for me and how I'll have this perfect life. I'm gonna fly across the ocean to a place that I don't know. Everything is never perfect. Once upon infusion.
There you go. Once Upon. Sounds good.
All right, everybody. So that's Once Upon from the soon-to-be musical A Lost Boys Story, and that's the opening song for the first act, and it's by G. Tom Mack, who we are on the line with right now. And everybody in the chat room says they love the song and love your voice, so that's really cool. And
Just do me a favor. When you're on Broadway, please don't charge $300 a ticket. Give everybody a break. Broadway with Bette Midler has gone nuts. I know Bette. I love her to death, but she ain't worth $300. Two people, $600. I could get her. I could lay her for $1,000. She'd put out for $1,000. I don't have to give her $600. No, seriously, it's ridiculous. $300 plus dinner plus parking. You're talking $500, $600 evening. For what? 2 hours of Bette Midler doing her same shtick that
Actually,
she's done for 40, 50 years?
they're saying hauntingly good, classic, hauntingly good, excellent music. Reminds me of a singer, F.R. David, who I have no idea what that is. But everybody in the chat room actually loves it, and I think you're gonna have a hit because the Lost Boys has so many fans. I mean, especially for my generation. I noticed because we've had a bunch of younger horror movie, people and aficionados on the show recently, and when I ask them if they know the Lost Boys, I'm surprised how many people actually don't, know it. But for anybody who's probably over 40, it's got to be like one of the most iconic vampire movies in history.
I think there's so many fans that are much younger fans these days.
Right. Question.
My audience is in their 20s, and when they come to my shows, it's like there's people from that period. But it became one of those cult-followed films that just was played on the telly all the time, or people would with it, you know. So, but it's really, yeah. I mean, there's certainly enough fans out there that I certainly know, because the downloads of Cry Little Sister alone have been enormous over the years, and just the fact that it garnered me. You know, Eminem became a fan of mine and sampled me on the Recovery album on You Never Over.
But you never got a Grammy.
Yeah, so it's just
Also was a film ahead of its time. Now we look back at it and it's okay, but when it first came out and you saw those kids flying all over, that was a big deal. We weren't doing that in film then. So it was a pace setter.
definitely had, you know, an incredible way in which it still stands up today.
Yeah.
So,
Now,
Actually,
tell me, if you're on when you're on Broadway, are you going to have live orchestra or are you going to use recorded music?
using both, actually. We're doing, because I prefer to have, I like to have the pit with a good orchestra in there to do, but I also want to be able to keep it modern, and there's a lot of aspects to, you know, the theater.
Effects.
And make things, you know.
Yeah.
What I've done with Lost Boys is I've kept the retro factor, but I've have it be modern as well. You know, I always describe it when somebody says, "What's that mean?" I said, "Well, remember when Amy Winehouse put Back to Black out?" And I said, "Well, she had retro, but she made it modern."
modern.
So
Yep.
Right.
that's the knowledge you can give, you know. So,
So let's do this though, because I want to play. I have something else I want to bring up as a part of the conversation, but I want everybody to hear "Sleep All Day" because, like, I think that is like so badass.
yeah,
And,
what the tagline to Lost Boys on the poster? It was never actually said in the movie, but there's a tagline that says "Sleep all day, party all night. It's fun to be a vampire." That was actually on the banner that they when it first came out. So I thought, I should take that and make a song out of it, and I did. So I'm really pleased. Yeah, this is a choreographer's delight. I mean, the choreographers that we've been meeting with, amazing, you know, people we've been talking with, that have just said, "Oh my God, this could just be, you know,
massive."
Definitely has what, you know, I wanted it to be as a song, and a piece of.
So Chad, you got that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so this is "Sleep All Day," you guys, from a Lost Boy story. This is G. Tom Mac. Check it out. "Sleep All Day."
Party all night.
Sleep all day, party all night. Oh yeah. Nothing like nocturnal waves, 24-hour shades, party power. Wake up at 5 p.m., that's right about when magic hour. Oh yeah, when all you geeks break loose from the workaday news, I'll be rolling. Breakfast of Chinese chow and my whiskey sour, I'll be grooving. Where's the party? Ooh ah, ooh ah, ooh ah, ooh ah, ooh ah.
The hot damn vampires are
The drag about daylight, everything's so bright and demeaning. Are you gonna waste away in the sun-drenched job and all your dreaming? About the boys and girls of the boardwalk world making party. Come on, flip your switch, baby, life's a bitch. Let's get on it.
Let's get on
'Cause
it.
there's nothing like a sleep all day and a party all night revolution. When there's nobody you own up to, take a hit of this substitution. That's what makes you want to sleep all day and a party all night revolution. Come on, meet me on the midnight side. I'm your bad boy guide and solution. Some say I'm just no good, yeah, the neighborhood wants me damaged. What they do? Still, I'm a cool, safe bet for every doomed reject trying to manage. Watch me now. Don't blame me for my world. Let your boy and girl wanna party. That's why I flip this switch, baby. Life's a bitch. Let's get naughty. 'Cause there's nothing like a sleep all day and party all night. We gonna sleep all day. We gonna party all night. Sleep all day. We gonna party all night. We gonna sleep
go.
All right, everybody. So that's "Sleep All Day" by G. Tom Mac, and with the 30th Lost Boys 30th anniversary, I know you go to a lot of conventions and stuff, and that you're performing in a lot of celebrations in the U.S. and the U.K. I bring it up because some of the people actually we met Tim Capello at a convention, which I was thrilled because I like.
But before we go any further, let me just tell everybody out there, I think this guy's music is really something else. Do you agree with me?
Absolutely, the chat room does.
It's hopping. It's kicking.
I want to see the musical, but as I said, I'd like to be comped. Opening night. I want
only you.
opening night. Fifth row center opening night.
I have to tell you though, like everybody's saying that they love both of the songs and they really like them, but everybody said that they love that they like the first one better, a little bit better, and it has a Lestat attitude. And there's not one person who says they don't like it in the chat room, which is pretty good because sometimes it's a 50-50 split. Everybody
why
loves
would
it.
they not like it? It's great. You know, when something is good, everybody likes it.
Once Upon is more like very much related to Cry Little Sister, and I think that's the attraction probably. Even Joel Schumacher, when I played Joel Schumacher, who directed the movie, when I sent him the music, which I was nervous to send him this music to this, musical, but he just said, "You hit it out of the park," and this is Once Upon is one of the most brilliant pieces of music. And, I can't, it doesn't get any better than that. So I think it's a bit of everything for everybody. You can't
Absolutely.
Cry Little Sisters throughout the whole movie, throughout the musical. Although Cry Little
Listen,
Sisters,
I'm friends with the guy that wrote, what was it? What's his name, right?
Who?
The musical, the one about the oh, Jesus Christ, when you get old, you friggin' forget everything. The bad guy and the good guy, Dr. Oh my God, the Broadway hit musical, Doctor. Oh Jesus, I really should retire. I mean, I really am worth shit. I am really totally
Oh, you
worth.
just cursed.
No, that shit's not a curse. It's something we all do.
Oh, you're talking about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde. I went to the beginning of that when they were putting it together. And I thought to myself, you know what? This is ridiculous. It's never going to go anywhere or do anything. It's so stupid. Jekyll is putting smoky things and singing. Well, hello. Don't go by my critiquing.
Yeah, because it was a huge hit.
It was a huge hit, but yours sounds great. And The Lost Boys is a great movie. I always liked it. And I've seen it a couple of times.
The thing about musicals, you really have to, it's all about the book. It's about the story, and it's about how it's not like you write a bunch of songs and then this is a musical. It's not that at all. It's all about the book. It's about creating a storyline that threads and works into the songs. So it's much different than just writing songs per se, as I do.
Absolutely, because years ago, we would go to Broadway and we would see a story with music, and the music was connected, like Angela Lansbury and Auntie Mame. The musical, every lyric told a story of what she and her little nephew were going through. So the music took you through it. The same thing with Gypsy. It also takes you through it. But sometimes the musicals today, the music goes left and the story goes right, and we don't seem to get it. You know what I mean? We like the music, but we hate the story. So you have to be careful to make the music bring out the story. And I agree, that's what you're doing now.
Well, I think a great example of what Broadway is today, it's actually getting a lot more hipper, and you can take chances a bit with your writing of the book, such as what Hamilton did in American Idiot with Green Day. We're able to morph it a bit, but there's still a guideline in which you have to kind of build the story and how you get to song and how you get Act One to really tell the story.
Tell it.
Into two,
Right.
I mean, that's the big fault in Broadway, in theater world, is you can have a great beginning of Act One and then you sort of fizzle out of Act Two because
Goodbye. Yeah.
connecting of the dots, it's all about a compelling story, and you want to be able, that story only becomes compelling if you can really keep it flowing in the right way.
Well, so I'm old theater. I always say on our show, I believe a beginning, a middle, and an end. If you don't have a beginning, a middle, and an end, then you don't have anything. It's just a bunch of hop, 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 hop. Don't you agree with that?
Don't say do you?
Why don't you?
I guess I get what you're saying, but
you know what I mean? I don't want to be hanging. I don't want an Alfred Hitchcock musical. You know, where there's no ending, you got to go walk out saying, "What the fuck was? Oops, what was that all about?" Excuse me.
I don't know anything you're talking about. All I know is I just like pushing things to a place where it can be new and fresh, and that's what Lost Boys the musical is. It's not for, for people that want to just go to Broadway to see something. It's just, I mean, I love West Side Story. I love the classics. All that stuff. I learned from it.
Right, but they had a beginning, a middle, and an end. I saw the Ginger Rogers musical out in L.A. when I was living out there, and it was I don't know what it was. It was just a mess.
Everybody, though, in the chat room is saying how everybody agrees that the best musicals combine the plot and the music, so everybody's pretty much agreeing anyway.
Yeah,
let's go to the next one.
That's how we did it years ago.
You want to hear?
Yes, rock on chat room.
Yes, they love it. So let's go to the Long Hot Summer. Chad, you got Long Hot Summer?
Yes, this I want to hear.
So this is tell us a little bit, because this is kind of more of a ballady. It's a little bit slower.
Yeah, well, I didn't really talk about Sleep All Day, Party All Night, what goes on in that scene, but you have to wait to see the musical for that.
There you go.
But that actually opens that back to Sleep All Day, Party All Night. So what we have with the Long Hot Summer is the love affair between Michael and Star. And, it's he's engaged with her, not engaged in the sense that he's fallen.
Right.
And her for him, but she's torn between him and David. And what she sees in Michael is a sense of like, well, he's not quite a vampire yet, but she also has the attraction to the power that David has. And, the thing that we don't get in the movie is David comes off, but rebel without a cause, all that, rebellious vampirism. But he really, he suffers from, what I say in Once Upon. It's not easy to live immortality, to be immortal, and that's what he fights.
I know. I have a job with it.
We get to see that he wishes he could die, as opposed to
right. Just to rest.
So this one.
Wait, hang on. How about if David and Star were in love, but Star was a guy?
Then it doesn't follow the movie.
No, but it follows gay world, and we are out there to get gay people visible. We don't want to. No, he's not gay, but I don't care who is. I don't ask people their sexuality. All I say is that we need to be visible, and it would be nice if David and Star were gay guys. I mean, why not? I mean, it would be interesting.
This version of it.
It would probably get a Tony because everybody on Broadway is gay. That's in the biz.
I'm a big advocate. Listen, I just wrote a piece on Twitter, whatever I did yesterday, on everything that happened in Charlottesville. I don't want to get into that.
No.
But I don't go into politic things on social media because it's a never-ending wall of no respect.
Yeah, I don't either.
No, we know that you're a Trump fan. There's no question about it.
To your point about gayism in the theater world, trust me, I've lived in the theater world forever.
Oh, it's fairyland.
Best friends are straight.
It's fairyland, the theater. I don't think anybody's straight.
Hold on, because I want to go. Because we're going to run out of time. We want to go to the Long Hot Summer because everybody's going to really like this. So, Chad, you have the Long Hot Summer?
Ready to rock and roll.
All right, everybody. So this is the Long Hot Summer from A Lost Boys Story, a clip from it, written and performed by G. Tom Mack. Check it out. I hope you enjoy it.
Here we go.
Featuring Cara Fed.
Was I your everything? Did you wake me from a dream in some complicated game where I'd give you all of me? I felt your blowing wind as you lit a candle flame. I swore you'd go with me, surrender to be one. I can't fake life that's not my own. Gotta be what I own. I'm not lost anymore.
Hot Summer.
Hey, everybody, we got to turn that one off. So that's Lot of Hot Summer, you guys.
I wanted to hear the whole thing.
Fabulous.
It's really good, yeah.
It's very, very good.
I suspect you have a wonderful musical, and I know that it's going to go places, and I'm so happy and anxious to be there opening night, fifth row center, for free. I'll give you a wonderful review.
So let's go back though. All right. So first of all, okay. So you guys, G Tom Mac, you'll be following his social media. He's at G Tom Mac on Twitter. Are you G Tom Mac everywhere?
G Tom Mac everywhere.
G Tom Mac everywhere, you guys. So we'll promote like when the actual CD is available, and you can download it for everybody, so everybody gets it. Because first of all, you want to support all this stuff, and all the Lost Boys fans, I think, have supported you for many, many years, and I think they will continue because this is fabulous. So we want to make sure everybody supports it. I want to give you a shout out too, just to say congratulations for the song "Eyes on the Prize" that you did from Gray Lady. I know we were going to try and have you guys on then, but we were already booked. But congratulations, because you did the song and you're in the film too, I believe, aren't you?
Yeah, Eric Dane and Natalie Z, and it was a really cool little film. It's on demand now as quickly as things go in and out of movie theaters, you know. But yeah, it's a cool little movie. It was really fun to be part of it. I really enjoyed it.
And Rebecca Gayheart, I love Rebecca Gayheart.
Yeah,
She's like gorgeous too. Like
I
I've
should have
always liked
taken
her.
that name, Ron Gayheart.
Yes, Ron Gayheart. And then we want to tell everybody too. You guys, so G Tom Mac has a zillion albums out, and you know what? I never knew that you had an album called First. I went on iTunes and I have all your other stuff, but I don't have Full Circle of Mad Years, 80s, 90s, and 2000s. So I know that's an older album that you did. I think a couple of years ago. But what a cool album of you singing songs from all these different shows.
Yeah, movies, TV, you know, songs that other people had, you know, had hits of mine with, and I can't remember. I think it was like 26 songs on there. But yeah, I put it out. Everybody kept saying, "God, why don't you put out a compilation set?" And I thought, how do I do that? And well, I know how to do it, but it's just a matter of putting the right songs out, because I've had songs in 50 some odd movies and 150 whatever. I have lost track.
A lot.
I've had songs in, but yeah, you know, I thought it was a cool thing to do, and fans seem to like it.
I love it. So here's what we want everybody to do. You guys follow G Tom Mac on Twitter. It's at G Tom Mac. Get all his stuff. Even though he's extremely successful, he's still like an indie artist, and you guys need to like buy his stuff. Go support him in all his shows. If you go, what's your website?
It's gtommac.com.
Oh, I should have known that. gtommac.com, because he's got some shows coming up in I think September and October.
Doing September 8th through the 10th in Indianapolis at a Horror Hound convention, and then doing a in Los Angeles on September 30th, which is really going to be fun. It's up in Malibu. I can't remember the actual grounds that it's on, but it's a sleep all day, party all night, where people actually come up, and it's a whole Lost Boys event, and I'm going to perform. I'm going to show the movie, and people stay all night, and it's pretty awesome. So
there you go. So go to G Tom Mac for all the other like updates too. Everybody, you can go to G Tom Mac, because we gotta skedaddle. I wish you all the luck with the Lost Boys story, the musical. I think the soundtrack's going to be phenomenal, and we want to congratulate you on all your success, and thanks for coming on the show.
And as we say in theater,
I wanted to mention, I'm going to Liverpool play at HorrorCon there, which I'm really looking forward to, going back to England, and also doing London. Slaughtered Lamb, I think it is. So that's going to be a really fun as well. So just want to put my peeps in England at rest that I'm coming back to perform. So there you go.
Good. Yeah. And I wanted to say, as we say in theater, break a leg, because it's going to be great.
Well, a Lost Boys story, I now can actually feel confident about it, even though I still don't sleep at all, because every day it's something that's going on with this thing, but I'm really proud of it. I'm glad the fans are reacting the way they are to just the music alone.
There you go. So congratulations, and thanks so much, and we'll see you in social media, G. Have a good one.
Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Give my regards to everyone in England.
There you go. Hey, what's up, Chad?
Save the Queen. Yes, sir.
Save the Queen, Liz Lawrence.
Actually, he's like like Ron is so into the England. We've been watching all these like fake Downton Abbey shows, which none of them are like Downton Abbey. And we really did watch Michelle Dockery has a show on TNT called Good Behavior, and it is freaking
fabulous.
amazing.
You have got to watch it, everyone. She is incredible. She wears wigs. She changes accents. She has an American accent. She's a common thief. She's a drug addict. She's a whore. She's a murderer.
Busy.
She's she's everything disgusting and awful. But you will love her because she's wonderful. She's got a good heart. She plays it with an American accent. She's supposed to be an American girl. Michelle is an actress that is just beyond. I mean, she doesn't stop at anything. I'm crazy about her, and I'm going to follow her career and help her to get really super famous.
And I'm
going to
get every person that I can on the show who's worked with her until one of them like helps introduce us to her so we can get her on the show.
Well, you know, Lara Spencer, Good Morning America, is like my other daughter. You know, she was raised in my house. My daughter Leslie was in her wedding party. Lara is a dear friend of our family. And I'm going to ask Lara when I see her, what was Michelle like when she came on Good Morning America? But she came on with the whole crew. And Lara really didn't have a chance to nitpick? No, what's the word I'm looking for? Pick her brain.
Right, pick her brain.
But Michelle, please, everyone, follow her. Look her up. See her new TV show.
She's not on Twitter, but she is on Instagram.
It'll knock the hell out of you because it has a surprise ending that I didn't figure out. I mean, I really enjoy it, and I love you, Michelle, very much. I love you because you give me such joy in watching your beautiful face, your lovely figure, your gorgeous clothes. You have wonderful
and that's a big
voice.
deal because he doesn't say that about anybody who's not from the 50s.
I did about Jane Russell.
I know, that's what I'm talking about. If they weren't from Turner Classic Movie Days, you don't usually like
Grace
them.
Kelly, you know, Jane Russell, Rita Hayworth. These women were incredible women. They don't make them like that today. But Michelle is absolutely a revelation. She is just the best thing that I've seen. You know, I've been watching stuff for 55 years, so I'm a pretty good critic on who can act and who can't. She's brilliant. Please, everyone, follow her, watch her, and you'll agree with me.
So let's do a quick commercial. We want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. And you can hear us Wednesdays live on our home station of W4CY Radio with the fabulously talented Chad Murphy.
Sweet.
You can also hear us on Hamilton Radio in New Jersey, Monster FM Radio in New York, K4HD Radio in LA, Jackalope Radio in St. Louis, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, SoundCloud. You can listen to us on iHeartRadio anytime you want, you guys. Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes, Audio Boom, Podomatic, Apple TV, and Spreaker. And on television, you can see us on Roku, Vimeo, and YouTube.
And if you run into me in the street, you can hear me in person.
There you go, which people do.
I know. I've been stopped by a lot of people, not a lot, but I've been stopped by people, and they say, "You look so familiar. Where do I know you from?" And I say, probably from having an affair with your wife. Or if it's the wife, I say, probably from having an affair with your husband. And then they put it together. They say, "Oh, now I know where I know you from." But I sign autographs. I'm very embarrassed doing so. I feel stupid signing an autograph. I have no idea why people do that. Ask for autographs, they probably throw them away anyway. But, you know, to be polite, you do it. The more we do the show, the more visible we become, the less privacy we have. And, you know, it could be dangerous sometimes. I don't like really going out alone anymore because you never know who doesn't like you because of this show.
Most people like us.
Well,
only
what's
a few
going
don't.
on down south with the hatred for blacks, Jews, and gays makes me a little uneasy.
Absolutely. So anyway, I think. First of all, you guys, we went and saw a good movie. We saw two movies actually. One of them wasn't so good, but I don't want to bash it since one of the stars of it's coming on in 2 weeks. But it wasn't great. And but we did see Atomic Blonde with Charlize Theron, and it's okay. The music in it is the best music like on the planet, but the rest of the film is
it was
okay.
good. You know, it's one of those
Different
sort of today films. But the film that I love that had us on the edge of the seat is Halle Berry in
Kidnapped.
Everybody go see it. You bite your fingernails down to your knuckles. It doesn't stop moving from the beginning of the film when her child is kidnapped till the end of the film is one outrageous, nerve-wracking screaming at the screen, hit him, crash into him, kill him. I mean, everybody in the theater was totally nuts. Jimmy and I love the movie. Go see it. It's certainly worth seeing. I don't think it's a TV home film. You want to see it on the big screen with the good sound to get the full effect. And Halle Berry, who's what, 50 now?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like is still stunningly, magnificently gorgeous. That smile, those teeth.
And
She's just a beauty, that Halle Berry.
when you go see it, you'll recognize the guy who does the kidnapping in it
Right.
as Lou Temple, who's been on our show. Actually, it was a really popular show. We talked all
Right.
about acting and the acting
Right.
process.
And he's a sweetie pie. Here he plays the most disgraceful human being, probably like something from the South that was in the news this week. I picture that exactly. The character was one of those characters that was awful people. Anyway.
It's very good, though, and he was really good. I want to give him props. You guys know him from The Walking Dead. And it was just really, it's always fun to see people that you've met, because we've actually met him in person and we've had him on the show through Skype. It's always fun to see those people when their careers, are going from television to like mainstream movies with the biggest stars in the world. So congratulations to Lou Temple for that role, and props up to him. So I think it's really cool. Also, we're going to do a little plug for Zorpads, you guys. So this is a really cool item, and they sent us some for free. And I've tried it, and it actually works phenomenally well. And a Zorpad is interstellar shoe odor destruction. It destroys odors. It doesn't have a mess. It lasts up to 60 wears. It sticks in place. It's only $5 a pair. And if you go to Zorpads.com and you use the code Jimmy, you get it for $4. It's NASA tested. Put it in your shoes, and they won't stink anymore. And it works, because I have a few pairs of shoes that I wear all the time that smell terrible. And
well, the reason being that Jimmy and I are great fans, and we have many, many pair. I mean, really too many pair of Toms. The Tom shoe is fabulous. It's a cloth shoe with a rubber base. And if you wear it for 2 days, they smell like mackerel, or somebody died in your shoe, and they're rotting. I mean, the stench is unbearable. So if you put these things in, the stench goes away and it smells like normal.
It's fabulous. So go to Zorpads.com, enter in the code Jimmy. You get it for $4 a pair. It's NASA-tested technology, and you can follow them on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Zorpads, which is Zorpads, or go to Zorpads.com. You're going to love it, you guys. It's a really great product. I love it.
People